Good evening again. You already know tonight is we talking about um, addiction. You know, not just all types of addiction, but we drug addiction, alcohol addiction, sex addiction. Whatever kind of addiction, just addiction. Period. But as far as drug addiction or alcohol addiction, I brought in a special guest who can put a more professional, they can really put a professional twist on the whole subject a lot better than I can because he is a professional. He has actually counseled people who struggles with addiction or whatever. And I would like to introduce y'all to my father. Come on, Daddy-O.
Hello.
I'm sitting here chilling with my dad. I'm I'm chilling with my dad. I'm not stunting like my dad, but Hey, Jenny Penny.
Well, the thing about it is,
Hey, LaShawn.
drugs, addiction is a disease and it's hereditary. Just because you're addicted to something, you have an addiction, it does not make you a bad person. It makes you a sick person that needs to seek help. And the reason I know this is because I have that problem. Um, when I left the military and stuff, I studied addiction. And the reason I did because I had the problem. Um, I worked in two substance abuse facilities. I have sponsored several people. And if God is good to me, January the 20th, I will celebrate 30 years of being free of any kind of mind or mood altering substance myself. Now, I had a drug of choice. It was heroin, mostly, and alcohol. Now, people say, I don't use drugs, I just drink. Alcohol is a drug. Matter of fact, it's the first legal drug we ever had. And you may not believe it, but alcohol kills more people than crack do. So, just because all you do is drink don't mean you ain't got a problem. You're alcoholic. You know, there is no cure for these addictions, but there is help. And you can put these addictions under arrest. And like I say, I found that out 30 years ago, almost 30 years ago. And I've been enjoying that life ever since. And it has great rewards because I've obtained a lot of things and been able to do a lot of things since I started, uh, being sober and got off drugs than I ever did. I became a different person, a better person. I raised my kids. I bought my house. I've had a lot of things that I didn't dream I would have. I didn't think I would have them because I was buying them for the dope man, you know, and for the liquor store. So now I buy them for myself. Like I said, I bought my own home. I've had 12 Cadillac cars, a lot of things, but those are just the material things. You have a better life, you know. You have a better rapport, better relationship with your children, with your family, with everybody. And don't ever think that when you try to get off drugs or you try to clean up your life or do the things you're supposed to do and become free of drugs and put this addiction under arrest, that you're doing it for your family or you're doing it for your children, you gotta do it for yourself. and let them children and family and wives and everybody else reap the benefits, of having a better person in their lives. So, really, that's about as much as I can tell you about it. If you have a problem with addiction, if you have a problem with drugs, alcohol, seek help. There's lots of help out there. I'm a prime example of that because with the 30 years I've been clean, I've helped a lot of people. Well, I've made an effort to help a lot of people. So I'm gonna turn it back over to my son.
But before you go, I want to ask a question. I want to ask two questions. One question is, the crowd of people now versus the crowd of people back then. How much of a difference is it?
I don't know. There's not really much of a difference at all. If anything, it's getting worse.
I'm talking about as far as the kind of people you are around or that are drawn to you now versus back when you were drinking.
Well, when I drank and when I used drugs, I hung around the kind of people that did what I did. And that's one of the ways you can put this addiction under arrest. Get away from the people that do
Right.
the same thing.
Right.
You don't just change your ways, you change what you do. And
Right.
who you hang out with and who you run with and stuff like that.
Right.
When I was doing drugs and when I was drinking and stuff, I hung out with people that did what I did. When I stopped, I hung out with people that didn't do those sort of things because I didn't want to do them either. So that's one of the processes of putting this disease under arrest.
Right.
There is no cure for it, but you can be free from it.
Right. Now the other question I had was, has there been times from the time you decided to stop all the way till now where temptation try to creep in there?
It's always there. Temptation is always there. There's a liquor store on every corner. Everybody got some drugs. Everybody got something to get high on and so on and so forth. But you have to seek out the people that don't do these things, as I said.
Right.
And that's the path you take. It's all in you, and it's the choices that you make. They have meetings, they have support groups, they have help of all kinds. And if you don't want to do something, and you don't think you're strong enough to be around people that are doing it, then don't go around them.
Right.
Find some good people that don't do these sort of things, and whatever your religion is, rely on that.
Right. Well, those are all the questions I had. I just wanted to get a better point of view on this addiction subject, this topic or whatever. I'm gonna go further into it. I couldn't have said what you said any better myself. I can be pretty articulate sometimes, but I'm not as wise as my daddy. So, yeah. But thank you, Father, for coming by, and don't mean to disturb you this time of the night, but thanks for coming by. People tend to watch these lives that we do sometimes, and they like to comment and ask questions and stuff. So I said I was gonna pick this subject because I felt it can be. This really I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. And you're more than welcome to join me when I do. I'll keep you posted or whatever if you want to. And we can touch on other aspects of this subject or go further into it if you like. But I'm gonna do a part 2 to this, and I'm gonna let you know when I do it.
Well, I've never been real big on this live broadcasts and whatever, but if it will help anybody, it will help you, help my son, I'm willing to do it, you know,
Well, it'll probably help me because I got
somewhat,
an addiction to chicken wings.
because I've always preached to them. My life has been an open book for them and for my friends and for everyone else, so even if doing this will help one person, I'm willing to do it, and I'll do the best I can, because just because you have an illness, which is what I said addiction is, that does not mean you're a bad person, but you're going to do bad things because this is what this illness forces and makes you do. So if it helps you, try to find a way to go to the good side of life and enjoy some of the finer things in life, because you can do it. My grandson just gave me a ticket to his graduation from college.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad I was sober and able to go to this. I'm not under the influence of any minor mood altering substance, and he was happy to see me, to have me come. He's graduating with a bachelor's degree in business.
Yep.
That's wonderful. And I put it on Facebook and said, "Thank you, Jesus." But
Yep.
just through the fact that I went out and sought help and got help now, it made it possible for me to do this. I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, because I still got a lot of flaws, but addiction and drugs ain't one of them. And like I say, anybody sitting out there thinking, well, I don't use drugs, I just drink. Alcohol is a drug. First legal drug you ever had. And alcohol killed more people than crack. So don't think you safe at all. And don't look down on the one that's smoking crack just because you just drink. You don't know what it's doing to your liver and the rest of your body too. You know,
Amen.
I'm old age doing mine bad enough. I don't want nothing else to do it even faster. So I'm gonna chill, and I'll see y'all another time.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody see this and know me, know that this is Walk. And if there's ever any way I can help, please let me know. And I thank my son, I thank my family, and everybody else, But I'm looking forward to going to this graduation, because that's a wonderful thing. I can remember a time with my children and nobody else didn't want me going nowhere with them because I was either drunk or high. But that ain't happened in 30 years. So thank God for that. See y'all.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming by. I'm gonna let my daddy out, y'all. He didn't bring his shades with him. He didn't know that this is what we do. We wear shades during the lives.
I can't see as it is, man. So I need no damn shades.
All right, drive carefully. Don't. You know. All right, there you have it. Words from the wise man himself. Try to keep an eye on him while you go to his car. Make sure nobody get him. Mm-hmm. All right, where you at, Larry? I'm gonna try to get you in here. All right, he in the car. He's safe. Let me go back over and sit down. Not just drug addiction or alcohol addiction, but any type of addiction that anybody is struggling with. Anybody is struggling with any type of addiction. All right, Larry. I'm about to attempt to add you. See if I can get you on here, Larry. Did you get it, Larry? I don't know if it worked. Food addiction, drug addiction, alcohol addiction, anything that's taking control of your life like that you're addicted to, you know, you definitely want to seek help. What does anybody that know anybody, I don't expect for anybody to be on here that may be struggling with anything to actually say it or whatever, you know, but only thing I can say for anybody who might be, you know what I'm saying, seek help. It's to your benefit, especially anybody on here that's still young. You got your youth. You're still healthy. Remember, you only get one life. You only get one body. You might want to treat it as good as you can. I know sometimes whatever it is that you're addicted to make you feel good, or it's like you use it as a crutch. It's hard to not do it. It's hard to stay away from it. I watched a guy, not saying any names, who was addicted to crack. And I watched him get off of it, get back on. Get off, get back on. Kept relapsing. Chasing that first high, as they say, you know, and never caught it. And it just led him down a really jacked up path, lost everything. Lost his woman. He wasn't married, but he lost his woman. She was a good woman. You know, lost his kids, lost his house. Ended up in a shelter. And was there for a while. He was homeless and had nothing, broke everything. You know, finally got out of there, tried to get it together for some years. He was all right. He started working, had his own place, relapsed again. I don't know where he is now. I don't know what's going on with him, but the last time I saw him, he had relapsed again after like 5-6 years being clean and sober. Lost it all again. You know, I'm like, wow. So, I mean, sometimes these addictions or whatever. Now I've heard of people being addicted to some really weird things too. You know, addicted to makeup, almost like an obsession. They had to have it on. They go to sleep in it, and they wake up with it. They got makeup on all day. They wear it so much until it starts doing stuff to their face. When you see them without it, they look terrible. Okay, and that's because it's not always because they just ugly. Sometimes they look nice without the makeup, but they wear it so much till it start messing their face up. Now they gotta wear it. And this is not just women. This is men and women. I've seen this. You know, you got guys who wear makeup who feel like they have to wear it. But anyway, you know, I'm like, you know, I'm always be like, Mr. To each his own. But I still speak on certain things that can be detrimental to your health, and your life. You know, your lifestyle is your choice. But anytime you're doing something that's detrimental to you, and it's affecting the people around you, especially your family, you need to do something different. You know, you need to change. That's just bottom line. What'd you say, Larry? Okay, if you haven't already done it. But bottom line is, anything you're addicted to. See, when it becomes an addiction, now it's about to turn to a bad thing. Sex addictions. You got sex addicts. People out there that gotta have it. You know. Now, those people will, you know, always at risk of raping somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or doing something inappropriate. You know, I mean, have you ever been touched inappropriately? Have you ever touched somebody inappropriately? Is it a regular thing? You know, you got people out there that's not. It's different types of sex addicts. You got people out there that's aggressive sex addicts that will rape a woman. Guys that will rape a woman. You got some women that will rape a guy. And then nowadays they women will rape a woman and men will rape a man, you know. But however it's done, sex addicts. Um, then you got the other sex addicts that they're not gonna rape you. They're not of any threat, but they got to have it all the time. They gotta have it all the time. Meaning, you can't be in no monogamous relationship with a sex addict. They're going to cheat. It's gonna happen. If you can't keep up, and then here's the thing: a lot of times, even if you can keep up with them, they got to have a variety. Most of the times, they gotta have a variety. So they're gonna cheat. It's gonna happen. You might as well face it. Who's that one guy? Who was that singer? Was that Eric Benet that said he was a sex addict? That's why he cheated on. Was it Halle Berry? I think he was dating Halle Berry and he cheated on her. And a lot of people say, "Oh man, how can you cheat on Halle Berry? Man, how can you cheat on?" Y'all don't even know Halle Berry. She might be hell on 2 feet. You never know. But then he said he was a sex addict, so it was gonna happen regardless, I guess. But anyway, it's a lot of addictions. You got food addicts. You know, what's the word they call it before you become an addict? They call you a foodie. I'm a foodie. But you got people that are addicted to food. They got to be chewing on something at all times. Every time you see them, they chewing. They eating something. You know, and not all food addicts are fat. Most of them are, but not all of them are. But you got people that are food addicts. Every fat person is not a food addict or whatever. And most fat people, they don't even eat that much. It's just they're not always that active, or the metabolism slow, or sometimes they have thyroid problems. You know, so it ain't always they're just sitting around eating all the time. It's not always that. And then sometimes medication they take make them like that. So, you know, but as far as the ones that are strictly big because they are food addicts, that's a different, you know, that's a different kind of person. I'm not gonna say that's a different kind of fat person, but you got food addicts, you got shopaholics, as they call them. Those are people who are addicted to shopping. You go over their house, you'll be able to tell because they got stuff everywhere. You know, you got people who got to be spending money all the time. Shopaholics don't always mean that's a person that just got to be spending money, because if they can, a lot of people just got to have stuff. They love to have stuff. They'll trade stuff just to have stuff. They don't necessarily have to be spending money, but you got some people who got to be spending money all the time. That's an addict. That's an addiction. You know, you got people that's addicted to ordering stuff out of catalogs. You know, this is all addiction, and it just depends on where your addiction falls. Let's say, I knew a guy who was addicted to working out. He was addicted to working out. He worked out all the time. When I lived in Holland, Michigan, he worked out all the time. But he wasn't into bodybuilding. He wasn't into bodybuilding. He was big, strong, but he was built really, really weird because he only had a certain exercises that he liked to do. So he was really over-exaggerated in those areas. And he had he didn't care who laughed at him or who looked at him funny. He was addicted. He was so addicted until he would go to the gym 2, sometimes 3 times a day. Every day. I don't even know if he had a job. I know he had a membership though, but he worked out every single day, 2 and 3 times a day. He even said, "I'm addicted to working out." You know, he's built real weird because he only had certain exercises he did, and he had to do them every day in order to function. Once he did them, he was good. You know, so it just depends on where your addiction falls. You know, I saw a video of a guy who was addicted to his own hair. He was addicted to brushing his hair. He had to brush his hair at least a couple thousand times every single day. He would brush his hair, and his hair was long. His hair was so long, it was all the way down to his, almost to his feet. He kept growing. He was addicted to his own hair, and he loved brushing it. He loved playing with it. He loved looking at it. He loved his hair. He was addicted to his hair. You know, you watch them shows where they talk about strange addictions. This dude was addicted to his hair. Uh-oh, look at my sons, y'all look. They're getting ready to go to public school tomorrow. What y'all addicted to?
School?
Marshmallows?
Mostly.
They're addicted to marshmallows. What y'all addicted to? Everybody has an addiction.
Well, I heard about marshmallows in school.
Marshmallows in school? What is my addiction? Is anybody asking me that? Are you asking me what is my addiction, sir?
Yeah. Yeah.
My addiction is loving y'all. I'm addicted to it. Nah, there you go. Uh-huh. Loving my kids. Mm-hmm. I'm addicted to that. You know what I'm saying? And doing Facebook Lives. I'm trying to invite your Uncle Larry on.
Hi, Uncle Larry.
This thing will not let me invite him.
Tell Uncle Larry we said hi.
Uncle Larry, they said hi. The kids said hi. I'm gonna try to invite you, Larry. Let me see if it works. It says invited, but it's not inviting you. I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. I really need to figure this thing out here. It just does not want to invite you on here, sir. Well, I don't know what to do. Hey, y'all, Uncle Larry said hi. Hey, Larry, you remember when I worked for SVRC and I took care of the one guy, Willie Boatman? He said he was addicted to pop. He had to have a 2-liter every day. He drank a whole 2-liter every day, and it had to be Pepsi. His face was always broke out. His face stayed broke out, and he always had back problems around where his kidneys are. I said, man, you better stop drinking so much pop. You're gonna kill yourself. You have kidney failure. But Cynthia said cleaning is hers. She have what was that, COD or OCD? I mean, what is OCD? Obsessive compulsion disorder or something, or obsessive cleaning disorder or what? I don't know what it stands for, but Cynthia said hers is cleaning. That's an addiction. That's actually a what they call it. It's a you can call it an addiction, but I don't know what they would actually classify that as, an addiction or some kind of illness, whatever. But at least you benefit from it. You got to be clean as long as you don't start, hurting people and cussing people out if they drop one crumb on the floor, because it's going to be all right. It's not that serious. Just pick it up. What, Larry? Oh, yeah? Yeah. Okay. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Okay. Thanks, Lenora. I was a little confused. That's an anxiety disorder? See?
Hurry up.
Yeah. Lenora just said it. Obsessive compulsive disorder. See, there's a lot of different types of addictions out there, but here's the thing. Anytime those addictions are causing you problems in your life, you owe it to yourself and the people around you to do something about it, to get it under control, because you got to control it. You can't let it control you. That's period. Anytime it gets to the point where it's controlling you, you letting it get out of hand. You know, you got to catch it. You got to nip it in the bud, as they say. You got to catch it at the very beginning. What do you want?
Buddha and Buddhist to finna fight.
Okay, well, go handle that. Go make them stop. If y'all need me, let me know. You don't need me just yet. Okay? Keep eye on it. Hey, get the broom if you have to. About to be a dog fight, y'all. That English bulldog, those two English bulldogs we got, father and son. The father don't want the son to come in the cage with him anymore because he's too old to be in the cage with him now. I guess that's how he feels. So every time he try to come in the cage, he'll beat him up or he'll threaten him, growl at him, try to bite him. But he doesn't have his own cage yet, so, and it's big enough for 3 or 4 English bulldogs. But anyway, never mind that. They're addicted to getting on our nerves. That's what they're addicted to. But yep. I saw a woman that was addicted to eating drywall. Did y'all see that? I saw that on TV, or did I see that on? I think I saw that on a video on Facebook. A woman was addicted to eating drywall. Now, where in God's name do they do that? Drywall is it's not supposed to be consumed. She already went out. She went out
You
already.
need to go out again so they can connect.
Okay. Here, grab her. Here.
Sorry,
Say hi, Mia. This is Mia, y'all. She is in heat, and we're about to breed her with her boyfriend. She is a deerhead Chihuahua. She is going to breed with her man in a few minutes. They've been breeding, so we're gonna have some little Chihuahua puppies, coming soon. Here, get her out of here.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
But I didn't say come popping in over here, y'all. So stop. Go ahead. Sorry about that, y'all. But anyway, I'm gonna cut this a little short, y'all. I'm gonna do a part 2 to this because what I want is my dad to come back in. Hopefully, I'll be able to have somebody. I got somebody else in mind to come on here who can really go deep into the dynamics of the disease of addiction. See, I can't do it because I don't know it like that. My dad, as y'all can see, he was far more articulate and he put some wisdom on it, and because he's been through it. I haven't. He'll be able to go a little deeper into it, and like I said, go into the dynamics of how the disease works. Not just that it's a disease, but how it works, how it affects not only the person that has the disease, but the people around them. And that will be a far more interesting live, because when you hear some of the stuff that he's been through, you're going to be like, really? Because see, here's the crazy thing about my dad. My dad was never the kind of person who would get drunk and come in wanting to beat everybody and start a fight or start trouble. He was actually more fun. And everybody can contest to that, can vouch for that. When my dad was drunk, man, we had more fun than we ever had. I almost went out and bought him something to drink when we was little kids so we can have more fun. But he was more fun than anything. Never came in wanting to fight, ever. We had nothing but good times. It's crazy to, like, but that's a blessing in disguise. But for his own health, you know, and his own well-being, so we can see him around as long as we've been seeing him around, and many more years, he felt the need to kick the habit, and he did it, and he did it single-handedly. And but even though he had help, but at the same time he made that decision himself. He cared enough. Cause my daddy is here. His stomping grounds is Detroit, where we all from. He never liked here, but my dad did something a lot of guys will not do. When my mom decided to come here, he said, "I'm gonna follow my family. I'm gonna be with them," and he been here ever since with us. So we can say we lucky enough to say my dad has been in our lives from the day we was born all the way until all the way till right now. When you saw him, you saw him sitting right next to me, you know. So hey, my hat is off to him because he didn't have to do that. You know, he could have stayed in Detroit where he was more comfortable at, where his family is, and never came here. But he said, "Hey, I'm gonna make this work," and he did. He made it work. You know, he came here. I mean, we had so much fun. We was kids with my parents until it ain't funny. We was some of the lucky few that can say we had both of our parents in our lives all the way until my mom passed, and she passed 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago. But as you can see, my dad's still here. He never left us, you know. And he decided to kick that habit, and he did, and he's still here. So if he can do it, anybody can do it. Not saying that he was a horrible case, but if he can do it, anybody can do it. If you need to do it, then go do it. Live a better life, live a lot longer, healthier. Put good into your body, you get good out. You know what I'm saying? Put bad stuff in it, you get bad out, and you might even die. So that's just how it is. That's just the bottom line. But like I said, I'm finna cut it short. I will talk to y'all the next time. We're gonna probably come back on here tomorrow. Hopefully I have my brother Larry. Larry, hopefully you can come over here tomorrow. We're gonna try to do another live. Try to get Rick over here. We're gonna have another talk. I'm contemplating on 3 different subjects, 3 different topics. But I'm gonna try to pick the one all 3 of us can get knee deep in. Okay, so we're gonna talk to y'all tomorrow. Larry, get with me tomorrow. Hey Heidi, how you doing? Get with me tomorrow, Larry, and I want you to, if you can, please, if you can. If you had the babies, I understand, but if you can come over here, get over here, we're gonna kick it. All right, y'all. Till tomorrow. Peace.